And joining us now for a closer look at the nominations is Dr. Jonathan Gray, a professor of media and cultural studies at UW-Madison. Jonathan, thanks for being here.
Hi, Jonathan.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So what was your reaction to these nominations?
I mean, overall, it's hard to say that anything doesn't deserve to be there. There's so much good TV that there's some things that I think are more or most deserving that were ignored, but on the whole, there's a lot of good stuff in there.
And Game of Thrones always gets all the nominations. They weren't eligible this year, so that opened the door for a lot of other shows.
Yeah, and yet still HBO picked up the most nominations, but yeah, about 20, 30 extra spots because they're not eligible.
A lot of things that got a lot of nominations I have not even heard of before. There is, like you said, there's so much good stuff on TV now. It's sort of like the modern golden age of television, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard being a professor of television. I
Yeah.
feel I should just be in the basement watching all the time.
And a lot of these nominations went to streaming shows and to cable.
Yeah.
And what does that tell us?
Well, it's great to see that there are more entrants in the market. I mean, Hulu has really arrived with Handmaid's Tale, and there's even this tiny little outfit called Open TV out of Chicago that scored a nomination against, the lions like Netflix and so forth. It's great to see.
Well, what do you think that the TV writers are understanding that motion picture writers are not? Because there's so much repeat in movies of superhero movies.
Planet of the Apes
Planet of the Apes and the Minions, but there's so much original content on television.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of writers who are realizing that, with a film you get 2 hours, and with a good TV show you might get many, many hours. And so you can really flesh out that character, the world. So I think a lot of the best writers and the best talent are being drawn to television because there's just so much more scope to tell a really grand narrative.
Yeah.
A lot of the nominees are big movie stars in television
That's
shows.
right, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I mean there's that one category where it's, 4 Oscar winners, I think? It's like the Nicole Kidman category.
I mean, just think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Wow, it's just amazing.
Who did not get a nomination that you thought might have deserved one?
Well, Carrie Coon got one for Fargo, which is great, but I think she delivered the best performance of the year for The Leftovers, and Leftovers was left out completely. I also think Legion is fantastic. Better Things got a nomination for Pamela Adlon, but not for the show itself.
And Orange is the New Black, I think, only got like 1 or 2 for supporting actress.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a little off peak, but I mean, still, there's so much good stuff out there. Atlanta did really well, but Insecure was sort of snubbed a bit. Yeah, Catastrophe and Fleabag, 2 wonderful British shows on Amazon.
That's what I just said. Some of these I've never even heard of, like Westworld. What is that about?
It's HBO.
That's a Western.
Yeah, do you have an hour? It's
you love it, though,
complicated.
right?
It's a lot of
I love
layers.
it. It's really, really smart. It's really neat. It's doing a lot of innovative stuff, and the performances are great. Great to see Thandie Newton nominated, for instance.
What show are we not watching we should be?
Legion and The Leftovers.
Legion is on what?
FX. It's by the same writer as Fargo, Noah Hawley. Incredibly smart, really weird, but Dan Stevens is in it. It's really good. And then Better Things, also on FX, is probably the best comedy of the year.
Oh, and how about Leftovers? Where is that one?
On HBO.
On HBO. Okay.
I have 5 of those on the DVR waiting to be watched.
Yeah, it's depressing though. Be prepared.
And Saturday Night Live, 22 nominations.
Yeah.
That's rising from the ashes.
Oh, it's really for years everyone's been saying that Saturday Night Live used to be so good, and it's now actually delivering. It's really fresh satire, and even outside the satirical stuff, there's some really smart things. Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, great cast. Yeah.
But every once in a while, it's just, what are they doing?
Yeah, it's always been that way.
The sketch shows will always clunk every once in a while.
Well, it's another exciting year. Can't wait to see who wins. Jonathan, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Jonathan. Great to see you.
Go watch some TV.